In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. In today's gospel reading, we read about two very broken people. One is a woman who has spent 18 years bent over looking at the ground, and she comes to church and Jesus heals her. The other very broken person is the leader of the synagogue. And that's who I'd like to talk about a little bit today. Probably because he reminds me a great deal of myself. He reminds me of me because he cared about doing it right. It was very important to him that they do it right. They do it the right way. They follow the rules. We have to stand on principle. If we don't have principles and rules, everything falls apart. And this applies not only to priests, but to teachers, parents, employers. I think everyone who finds themselves in a position of a little bit of authority suddenly finds rules very important. Doing it the right way. It gives a certain amount of predictability to your life, right? If I have rules for my kids, at least there's some bit of predictability. If I have rules for my employees, at least I know what they're doing, or at least somewhat, right? Because in reality, you don't ever really know. But still, we have this love for the right way it's supposed to be done. It's supposed to be done this way, right? There are 6 days to do work. Come to the synagogue or go wherever to get healed on those 6 days. But the Sabbath is for rest, right? You're breaking the rules. You're not doing it the right way. Yeah, I really identify with this fellow, this very broken person. So broken that we confuse the means from the end. Yes, of course, rules are important. Right? We kind of all have to be somewhat on the same page, or else everything falls apart. But rules exist so that life can happen. And if we choke out life because we insist on principle that it be done the right way, then we've betrayed even the principle that we think we're upholding. Because the law was given to promote life, not to destroy it. The rules exist to help us get along and love one another, to help us promote life. They don't exist so that we can stand before the throne of God on the last day and say, but I did all the rules. I followed all the rules. Sure, I trampled on several people along the way, but I was right. How do you think that's going to fly on the day of judgment? That's not going to fly at all. God is looking for love, compassion, life. And yes, there are right ways and there are wrong ways. You know, my dad, my first 10 years, I lived with my biological parents. My biological father was in the Navy. And there's a very famous there's actually several very famous naval sayings. But one of them is, there is a right way and there is a wrong way, and then there is the Navy way. Sure, we've got rules. There's a right way, there's wrong ways. Yeah, but it's all about promoting life, promoting love. Right? And if we end up denying life for the sake of a rule, no matter how good that rule is, we've betrayed the very rule. So, that's why I kind of relate to this guy. The two very broken people in this story. The one, the woman bent over, and the other so hung up on rules that he couldn't see the Son of God right in front of his face. In the name of the Father and the Son